everyone, welcome to episode 4 of For Me I Will Not Fall. Today we are going to be talking about suicide, the big scary S word. And we're going to seize the awkward conversation and talk about the things that really need to be talked about. Also, wanted to introduce Barney, my sweet little girl. She's making her debut on my channel today. She's cuddling in my lap and now she's embarrassed and leaving. But there's Barney, my sweet little angel. Anyway, let's get started. So first we're going to talk about suicide warning signs. And first warning sign is talking. Things people who might be considering suicide, things they might talk about or what they might be saying. First, being a burden to others. If they're looking at you or they're talking or texting you saying, things would be easier for you if I wasn't in your life, or all I do is cause problems for you or my family or whoever, that's definitely a big warning sign. If they're talking about killing themselves, if they're like, I had suicidal thoughts, or I think it would be a lot easier if I drove my car off the bridge. I've been considering taking a handful of pills, things like that, definitely a huge warning sign. If we're talking about, or they're talking about experience unbearable pain, I can't get over this, I'm in so much pain, I hate myself, I can't do this anymore, definitely a huge warning sign. Having no reason to live, talking about, there's no point for me here anymore, I can't do this anymore, I don't have anything to live for, things like that, that's definitely a huge warning sign. And feeling trapped, feeling like they have nowhere to go, they have no one to go to, feeling super alone, huge warning sign. Next, mood warning signs. If they have a loss of interest, if they are an avid gym goer and they all of a sudden stop going for what seems like no reason at all, if they love to hang out with friends and then all of a sudden they're ghosting people or they're ditching plans last minute, if they have depression and it's acting up, if they're acting depressed or super sad all the time, can't get out of bed, and things like that. Anxiety, if they're constantly having anxiety attacks or if things are making them anxious, if they're going to see somebody that they haven't seen in a while and it makes them anxious, or trying something new makes them anxious even though they normally like changing or a change of habits and seeing new things, that's a big sign. Irritability, if they just have random moods and emotions out of nowhere, they're irritable all the time, that's definitely a big warning sign. If they are easily getting embarrassed and feeling ashamed, that's a big warning sign. And rage, if all of a sudden they're angry all the time or acting out towards you even though nothing big happened or anything, that's a big warning sign. Some of the behaviors would be increased use of alcohol or drugs. This one is really important for me as a warning sign. When I first had suicidal thoughts, I didn't know how to cope with them, or first recognized I was having suicidal thoughts, let's put it that way. My freshman year of college, I started drinking. At that point, I had never drank before. And I would go to alcohol. I never was a drug user, but I would go to alcohol as a behavior and acting out because of it. Alcohol is a big depressant, and a lot of drugs are depressants. All of those downer drugs, if they're using drugs, that's a big warning sign. Isolating from friends and families, ditching plans last minute, not talking to their family, just sitting alone all the time or completely isolating themselves, that's a big warning sign. Sleeping too little or sleeping too much. If all they do is sleep all day, that's a big warning sign. If they have insomnia and normally they sleep a normal schedule, that's a big warning sign. Visiting or calling people to say goodbye, huge warning sign. Take that, all of these take seriously, but if they are calling you and saying goodbye, do not get off that phone. Or reach out if they leave a voicemail or a text message, get a hold of them as soon as you can. If they have aggressive behaviors all of a sudden and they normally don't, that's a big warning. Withdrawing from activities. If you're a club volleyball player or recreational adult league of some sport and all of a sudden you stop showing up or you withdraw from the team before it starts, that's a big warning sign. Giving away prized possessions. If I have something that means a lot to me and all of a sudden I give it to you, and I would normally, I cherish this item and I would never give it away. That's a big warning sign. Looking for a way to kill themselves, such as searching online for materials or means. Obviously, another big warning sign that if you find this out, do not ignore it. This is definitely one of the more serious warning signs, in my opinion. If I wanted to kill myself and all of a sudden my boyfriend and he uses my laptop, he has my password to get on. If I was thinking about killing myself and I had searched how to tie a noose or bridges near me, things like that, and he gets on my computer and sees that, but I haven't expressed any of these things to him, like that would be a warning sign to take seriously. Side note, I am not doing that or anything. It was just an example to make it a little more clear. If they're acting recklessly, if you're with somebody and they're driving their car and you're a passenger and all of a sudden they're running red lights or they normally don't, or, they're doing risky, reckless things, that's a big warning sign. So those are some of the huge warning signs that definitely need to be taken seriously. And I actually got those warning signs, a list of those, off of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's website last week, which was National Suicide Prevention Week. Thursday was National Suicide Prevention Day. For me, some of the warning signs that I have would be, not talking to anybody, not getting out of bed at all. Definitely saying things like, oh, I think I should be admitted, or I'm feeling sad all the time, or, every time I'm in my car, I want to drive into a concrete wall. Those are big warning signs that shouldn't be ignored. As someone who has had suicidal thoughts and projected them or tried to seek help subtly and not subtly, and reactions I've gotten from other people that have been good and bad, I'm thinking I want to talk about those too. So I had, in a past relationship, I would reach out to my significant other or talk to them face to face and express, my concerns or my thoughts, and saying like, oh, I want to kill myself, or, if I drive right now, I can't promise that I'm not going to drive into a pole, or I'm not going to run all the red lights and hope that someone hits me. And the responses that weren't good to get back were, well, I'll just call the police on you if you leave. Okay, well, yes, that would give me the help I need, but I'm coming to you because I trust you and I want you to let me know I'm safe coming to you, so I can know that me having the confidence to open up about this at this time in need isn't just going to get shit on. Excuse my language, but for real, like, if this person's coming to you or you see these warning signs and you just smash it down and like kill it like a bug, they're not going to take that well. They're not going to open up as often anymore. Or you might have just, destroyed any chance of help that they were willing to get before they pull the plug and go for it. Expressing emotion about being how scared you are and crying isn't going to help at all. I know how hard it can be to hear that a loved one or someone you care about is having these thoughts. Do not sit there and cry or say that it's selfish or I can't imagine my life without you. They don't want to hear that right now. They want to hear that you're here for them, what they can do to help you, that you're a good person. Compliment them, tell them all the good things in their life. Make sure that they're surrounded by safe things. So for me, one big thing is if I'm having issues or like say Adam's questioning my safety, he's going to make sure that I don't have access to my car keys so I don't just, drive off or go for a drive. I'm not much for cutting or anything like that. I know a lot of people are. For me personally, that's not. But if you're with somebody or you're concerned and they're coming to you and you want to make sure they're in a safe place, make sure any sharp objects they can hurt themselves are away. Make sure that there's no serious pills or narcotics around so they can't, just pop a handful of pills. Also make sure that if they're coming to you with these feelings, don't encourage them to drink the pain away or use drugs, if that's one thing that they do. Try and keep them in a safe environment. For me, cuddling is really holding and being embraced, gives me a lot of comfort, makes me feel better. And being, told good things, complimented, telling things that I'm succeeding at, doing better with. One other thing is, for me personally, but if anyone who actually tells you they want to be admitted because they're scared they're going to hurt themselves, take that seriously. Do not tell them like, oh, you're being ridiculous, or I don't think that's what you need. We can get through this, or, I don't even know how to go about that. Okay, it's really easy. If someone wants to be admitted, take them to an emergency room, and the nurses and doctors there will know what to do. Or if you can't drive for whatever reason, or they're not with you, you can call the police and they will take them in and take them there safely and pick them up. But if someone actually straight up tells you, I need to be admitted, or I think I want to be admitted for my own safety, take that super seriously and don't feel embarrassed because, say, you're the girlfriend or the boyfriend to the person who wants to be admitted, or the parent or the sibling. It's not embarrassing, and you shouldn't be embarrassed at all because, one, it has nothing to do with you, and two, it's saving a life. And know that it's going to say a lot about you and your relationship to the person who's struggling if you help them when they reach out to you, and you help them get admitted, or you make sure you take their car keys away because they're, coming to you scared, and they may not straight be saying like, hey, take my car keys because I'm scared I'm going to get in my car and hurt myself, but they're coming to you subtly seeking help because that's all they can manage to do. And you're showing them that you care and you know what they need and you're here for them. It will make a huge difference. At least it has for me. If there's other things, the warning signs for you that have worked that I didn't mention, feel free to let me know, and I can always mention it in another video. If, you need some tips or want to talk about how to be brave enough when you're in those moments on how to speak up. Me, every time I'm super depressed or upset or have a harming thought, I always tell my dad. He's one person I always go to. And my sister and my boyfriend are people I always go to. Recently, or majority of my experiences, it has been going to my dad. But now it's kind of changing that it's mostly my boyfriend. Just I live with him, and, we're at a point in a relationship where he's the person I go to for everything. But please reach out to me if you want help or you have any questions or concerns. Also, I would like, if anyone has any ideas for vlog ideas or topics they want to talk about, feel free to let me know. I've been considering an idea on doing a Facebook Live where people can DM me or comment on the live video and I answer questions. If you watch this and you think that's a good idea, please let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, I am going to post something at some point on my Facebook page. Like I said, I love you all, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. And those of you who are close to me in the South, stay safe with all these all of these crazy storms coming. And I love you all. Have a good week.